Hi, my name is Melanie Ellis. I currently teach a severely handicapped autism class for grades 3 through 5 at my elementary school. I'm here to talk to you about brain-based learning and what that has to do with differentiation and engagement within the classroom. A little background about brain-based learning that I've been reading about. It refers to teaching methods and lesson designs that are based on the latest scientific research about how the brain learns. So it's about how students learn better when it's personally meaningful, challenging, and appropriate to their developmental level. And the basic idea is that although human brains generally share the same characteristics of intake and sense making, individual brains differ substantially in the way that they recognize, internal process, and assign emotional significance to new information, such as teaching strategies and materials within their learning environment. So in regards to differentiation, the way that this relates is that there is no one size fits all. There's no one size brain that fits each child. Not all students will understand the information the same. They will not all react to the teaching method the same. And it's basically good teaching and teaching with the whole child in mind. And Howard Gardner actually has a theory of multiple intelligence that identifies 8 distinct intelligences that can kind of relate to this. And those would be linguistic, logical, mathematical, musical, bodily kinesthetic, spatial, interpersonal, intrapersonal, and naturalistic. So for linguistic, they mainly learn through words, reading, writing. Logical, mathematical, they like to analyze patterns or problems, mathematical operations. Musical is patterns, rhythms, sounds. And then kinesthetic, those are your body movement, your hands-on learners. Spatial learners are your visual learners. Interpersonal is with interacting with other people, so like group projects. And intrapersonal are self-reflection and self-awareness. Naturalist actually was a new one for me, and those are mainly finding patterns related to nature. So they like to categorize and catalog information. So there are a number of ways that teachers can bring all of this in within lessons, and they can assess in multiple ways too. It doesn't just have to be standardized testing in order to differentiate to the whole child, differentiate instruction and assessment materials. Within my personal class, each child has individual goals based on their present levels of performance. So all of my kids' goals are individualized to them. I do teach it in different ways that relates to them and is better to help them. As long as my reinforcers are also individualized. So each kid likes to work for different things. So we differentiate reinforcers as well within our classroom by some of my kids like iPads, some of them like the play area, some of them like edibles. It's all differentiated. So what they're working for and how they're working as well. Some of my students are verbal and some are nonverbal. So they're able to be assessed in different ways. I wouldn't require my nonverbal child to read the word to me verbally, and I wouldn't get it to him wrong if he wasn't able to tell it to me. We use PECS, so it's a picture exchange communication system. They're able to use their PECS book to identify the objects. They're able to receptively ID objects. There are multiple ways that we use differentiation within my classroom. Another way I was reading about differentiating instruction is the universal design to learning. So it's a differentiation approach to curriculum design and instruction that responds to the learning brain. It encompasses flexibility for information, representation, strategic learning, and demonstration of competence, as well as emotional engagement. Okay, bringing us to engagement. So engagement is literally just that, getting the kids engaged in learning. Get them excited to learn, feel the excitement in the classroom, curiosity, the joy for learning. This can bring a lot of positive outcomes within the classroom, like better attendance, more focus on lessons, higher achievement, deeper understanding, and just an overall greater enjoyment of learning. There are multiple strategies to bring engagement to the classroom. I think the biggest one that I was reading about was to set a positive tone from the beginning of the day and the beginning of the lesson. This can be done through morning meetings, a quick high five in the morning, good morning to even some kiddos who are coming from a bad morning at home or just a rushed morning, and kind of just regrouping and creating a sense of community within the classroom can already get the student engaged. Also creating a engagement and positive tone for the lesson. Include visual in the lessons, break learning into chunks, give them something to look forward to. So brain breaks, and a big one, get moving within the classroom. So physical movement really encourages learning. It gets the blood flowing, gets oxygen to the brain, and it gets the kid moving around and interested in what they're doing. Through engagement, you can also include many of those different types of learning. The kinesthetic learners, they're hands-on, music learners, visual learners. There's multiple ways to get kids engaged that you can also differentiate instruction and assessment as well. Okay, so that's all I have in regards to brain-based learning for differentiation and engagement in the classroom. Thank you.